Hi guys, welcome to my Etsy channel. This is Nancy from nancybatidjo.com and welcome to another episode of Etsy Shop Critique. Today I'm doing a critique on the store called Arika Designs. So thank you, Tamara. She's the owner of the store for allowing me to do a review of your shop. So let's go ahead and get started on the review. Guys, I'll make sure that you stay all the way to the end of the video. Plus, I'll make sure that you get my Etsy checklist. It's a freebie. I will leave the link below this video. So let's go ahead and get started. Normally, when I do a review, any tools that I talk about on this review, they are all linked below this video, plus additional links to other resources that you guys could use. So the first thing I do is I pick a listing to do an audit, and I do everything from the photo to SEO to listing description and to the curation of your shop. So the picture that or the listing that I picked is this one right here. The first thing I want to talk about is product photography. When you have an e-commerce store and you sell only online, there's no physical tangible item that the customer could hold with their hands, view, touch, or feel or wear. You want to make sure that your product that you're selling is one, cropped in a complimentary way. Your picture is actually getting cut off. Two, that you showcase the product and the person understands what they're buying. You want to make sure that there's no distraction in the background. I personally think that this photo could look way better. The distraction, like there's a distraction in the background. I don't know if this is like a platter or some sort of design that you have for that particular photo, but it's almost like the same color of the earring and it makes it a little bit distracting. So therefore, when the person is browsing through thousands of, Etsy listings, if it doesn't catch their eye and right off bat they don't know that these are a set of earrings, they're gonna keep going. They're not gonna stop to click on the photo because they must have that item. So what you want to make sure is that a bad photo could prevent you from making a sale, no matter how amazing your product is. So you want to make sure that your photo is beautiful, that there's no distractions in the background. You want to make sure that's cropped in a complimentary way. You want to make sure that it showcases what they're selling. And you want to make sure that you target two types of customers. You're going to target the customer that just stumbled across your listing, saw the earrings and said, oh my God, I want those earrings. And you're going to also target the customer that actually you targeted, which is your ideal customer that want the earrings, they found you, want them, click on it and buy from you. But it first starts with a beautiful, captivating photo. At the moment, this photo is not doing justice to the beautiful earrings. They're not showcasing the earrings the right way. The picture's getting cut off and it's a lot of distraction in the background. So the first thing I would say is change the earring, the photo basically. I'm sorry about that. Change the photo. I know that this photo, once you click on it, you can actually see the length of it. You can see a little bit better. However, the background is still an issue for me with the distraction. This earring also has too much background, different stuff going on. This one's a little bit better than the other two. This one here, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. If do I get this included with the earrings? So photos that don't go with it, or maybe it's confusing, I wouldn't even include. I do like the fact that you have the free shipping and then you have the instant code if they sign up for your mail list. That's amazing because a lot of people don't start their mailing list, and in order for you to one, have a successful shop, and two, God forbid you ever got close on Etsy or something happened, by you having this list of customers, you could potentially open your own like website and still target the people that actually bought from you beforehand. So it's really important to start an email list, no matter what, like start it right away in the beginning and try to grow it, because eventually those are the people that you're going to remarket again and retarget with your products and services. So I give you kudos for doing that. I think it looks really good. Um, what I recommend also, when you are downloading photos, all your photos should be the same size. So for instance, you have this one as a long photo. You have this one that's like almost like a square. Then you have another long photo. Then you have this one which is a little bit more well, kind of squarish. So you want to make sure that all your photos are all sized in the same way. It just looks more nicer. It looks more cohesive. It looks like you took the time to design it that way, right? Versus just uploading any photos. So that's another thing that you should start doing. And it might be like a small pet peeve of mine, but once you start doing that, then you always do that. You always keep that in mind. And then the cohesiveness of your store and the aesthetic of your store will look better because everything goes together. So that would be my first thing, making sure that what I would do is either take the earrings, take a picture with someone wearing them, or taking them with a nice clear background, white preferably. Make it minimalist. Don't make it so. Sometimes I feel like the more we dress it up, or the more things we add to it, the more the photo becomes like absorbed, or too many things are going on, right? The more that we mess up our own photos, because I've done that before. So I think that if you take away the background and just leave it in a nice white background, I think it will make a big difference for your photo as well. So yeah, so that's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing I want to talk about is SEO. So as you guys might know, SEO, or in case you don't know, SEO is stands for search engine optimization, and it's just how the search engines like Pinterest, Google, Yahoo, Bing, etc. This is how they find your particular listing, whatever you're selling. You want to make sure that when you do SEO, there are SEO on page factors that take place, which is having your main keyword in the beginning of your title, having that same keyword in the beginning of your listing description, which you do, and then having the additional keywords that you're using distributed throughout your listing description, and making sure that all your tags are in the bottom as well. So that's an on-page SEO factor. It's going to help you rank higher on Etsy plus other search engines. And it's just a best practice. So you should always do that on every single listing, making sure that when you do add the additional keywords in your listing description, it reads naturally. It's not like you're stuffing keywords just to stuff them. And if you can't possibly put all 13, put in as many as you can, and making it sound very natural by putting them in there. So the first thing the tool that I use is called XErank or eRank, and what I did was I did an audit on your listing, and the first thing I noticed is that you're using keywords that are oversaturated, and keywords that are oversaturated mean that you're competing with many shops using that particular keyword. So therefore, it's very hard for that keyword, or for any of your listeners using a keyword that's oversaturated. It's very hard for you to rank organically, because you're going to be somewhere buried on the search results. On the, let's say, instead of coming out on page 1, you might be on page 20. On top of that, if you were to do an Etsy ad, your cost per bid is going to be a little bit higher now, because you're using a keyword that's very competitive. So therefore, the prices go up on those keywords. So for instance, gift for women. One is too broad. You're not you're not necessarily targeting your audience, because gift for women could be pretty much anything. It could be a shirt, it could be a pair of pants, it could be a purse, etc. So as you can see, when you type in gift for women on Etsy, you see a little bit of everything. You see bracelets, necklaces, you see bags, you see earrings. So therefore, you're just targeting, now you're not targeting your audience in a way. You're kind of showcasing your product to anybody that's looking for a gift for women. It's not such a horrible keyword, but what happens now is that you're not targeting people that actually want to buy earrings. So therefore, you're lessening the chance of somebody finding your product and actually buying from you. So you're not showing the product to people that actually want to look for what for what you're selling. So that's the key point to take away with. Another thing that you want to look at is how many people are using that keyword. There's 3 million people using that same key, over 3 million people. So therefore, you're competing with all these people, and your listing might not appear in the first or second or third page. You might be somewhere on page 100. So therefore, no one is seeing your listing, and that's when you you start saying, well, I'm not making sales. Or sometimes your listing does show up and people are seeing it, but you're like, well, I have a lot of impressions, um, but a lot of people are seeing it, but no one's buying. That's because you're showing your listing to people that are not interested. So therefore, yeah, your impressions do go higher. However, because these people are not interested in your products, you're not making the sale that you want to make. So, or you're not making any sales. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you go back and you do your SEO. Again, all these keywords that are red, they have to go. So you pretty much have to do all your keywords. The bottom two keywords, the reason why there's nothing here is because there's not enough data. So whenever you do research on XeRank or any keyword tool for Xe, if it comes back unknown or not enough data, that means that not too many people are searching for that particular keyword. So therefore, there's not enough data to report back to let you know if that's a popular keyword or not. So in this situation, these two keywords are not popular. So you need to remove them as well. Um, your best bet is doing long tail keywords that describes your earrings exactly how they are. That's the best bet. But you have to make sure that not only do you use long tail keywords, that you are researching them to make sure that these are keywords that you're going to be able to rank for. Um, so a lot of these keywords also don't have enough data to let you know how many people are searching it, and a lot of it either is very very low like this one here, or really good, but then is a lot of competition. And on top of that, you want to make sure that your keywords are targeting your audience at this given moment. Some of them are and some of them are not. They're too broad, so therefore you're showing your products, right? If you get found in the search results, you're showing your products to people that potentially are not really interested in what you're selling. So yeah, you definitely want to go back, redo your keywords, take the time because you want to keep in mind SEO is how you get found in the search results. The photo has to be amazing because that's what makes them click on the actual photo. So everything that we talk about on this video, everything goes hand in hand. You can't just have great photos and not work on SEO, or have great SEO but your photos are not the best. They all have to cut. Everything plays a role in order for you to close out the sale. So you want to make sure that you meet all the criteria and that you're doing everything correctly. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is your listing description. And it's just basically what it sounds like, listing description. And the listing description is basically telling the customer exactly what you sell, how to order, what they get, what comes included, the color, the size, the shape, the shipping policy, the return policy, if you have any cancellation policy, etc. So what you want to do is you want to build credibility with the customer and trustworthiness. And when they come to Etsy, they want to buy something that's handmade, something that's different, something that they're not going to be able to buy on Amazon or on Target or on any other store. So that's why they come to Etsy. And when they come to Etsy, they want to make sure that you want to make sure that your listing description is filled out completely, that you take the time to craft a listing description that describes your item and also caters to that person's, you could kind of say, emotional need. So you want to make sure that when you write a description, if you're selling, I don't know, let's say you're selling bath balls, right? You want to make sure you say, Make sure that you treat yourself to a nice, relaxing bubble bath with this amazing bath balls that are made of lavender to relax you after a hard day of work. So you want to kind of write something like that on every listing based on what you're selling, because now you're somewhat um invoking their emotional point. Like, people are emotional buyers. So when you sell something, you kind of want to sell them that emotional reason of why they should buy from your shop. So I would recommend working on crafting like a little description of it, but making it a little bit more emotional, why they deserve to buy your product. Um, Also making sure that you don't forget anything in your listing description, that everything does come together. One thing that I would say is that with the top 155 characters, this is called the meta description, and this is what um, Google shows a customer when they look at your listing online. And this is the snippet right here. It's just like a Google preview. And right now, you have unique silver mirror, which is perfect because you're using the main keyword. Um, Made with top quality silver material, and then it cuts off. So what you want to do is that this section here, one has your main keyword, two, it has to describe whatever you're selling, but it also has to be very compelling for them to want to click and see the actual product, right? Because there's no photo or anything else. So right now, the only thing that is convincing them or slightly making them interested in clicking is your meta description. So you want to make sure that you work on that. That way, when people read it, they're like, "Oh, let me find out," and click, and then go to your store. And then what I would do is put this right here, made with top quality. I will push that a little bit more down, and then good job on adding to order, and good job of adding the link to your to Mailchimp in order for them to sign up for the free shipping. But yeah, I do think that you do need to write a little bit more in your listing description, um, and making sure that you include anything and everything. I think you did a good job with describing it and the colors and the size, etc. So in that aspect, you did a really, really good job. And I like the fact that you put we offer. Okay, so this is why you had that picture. That makes sense now. Um, so you have a gift wrapping option. So what I would do is, instead of just having the photo, I will add a call to action here saying, we offer free, um, or whatever. I don't know if it's free, but we offer gift wrapping option. That's what I recommend, because someone looking at this doesn't really understand that or doesn't really assume that you offer that. But by you having it and having like the wording in it, it's gonna make it easier for someone to say, "Oh, that's kind of nice. I'll kind of need that as well. Let me just go ahead and buy from the store." So I would include that in there as well. And the last thing I would say with your listing description on on the bottom right here, this is my store, and on the bottom of it, I have a hyperlink that takes them back to my main page. So I will have something like this, and that way, when they click on it, it takes them back to the main page. A lot of people, what they do is when they're reading your listing description, they click back, so they leave your actual Etsy shop, and then they don't know how to come back, or they forgot the name of your shop. So what I recommend is putting something like this that they could click on it and then stay in your shop. So that's one of my suggestions that I will recommend doing. And the last thing I want to talk about is the curation of your shop. And the curation of your shop is basically the overview of how it looks. So what I would do, you have a picture, an avatar picture. That's fine. It's a nice picture as well. I personally would put a picture of yourself, only because people do want to put a face and they want to relate to you a little bit more, especially on Etsy. It's more personal than when you buy on eBay or Amazon. It's up to you. The fact that you even have a photo is great, because there's a lot of stores that don't even put any type of photo. They don't have a logo, they don't have a banner, they don't have anything. So you're already ahead of the game. Um, your banner is nice What I would suggest as a new store, especially when you're first starting to learn um, about Etsy, learning about SEO, learning about target audience, I always tell people niche, 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 niche down to one niche and stay in that niche. And once you have the hang of it and you start learning and you start crafting your target audience, then you can start adding additional products for different things. I feel like your store is a little bit it's going to be hard for you to define at first who your target audience is, because you have so many different things. You have jewelry, you have pillows, you have photos, you have tote and bags, jewelry, pet shop stuff, downloadable prints. It's almost like all over the place, which is not a bad thing. But a lot of people think if the more items I sell, the larger the spectrum, the more sales I will make. And it's actually the opposite. The more niche you become, so if your shop, when I say niche, just only selling earrings or only selling let's say pillows, right? But just sticking with one niche and doing it that way is going to help you more, because you become the expert of that field, and it's going to be easier to target people. If you have pet products, right? So it's going to be easier for you to say, okay, so my target people are people that own dogs, or that they own dogs or cats, let's say. So then now you could start finding those people, and you could create a Facebook page where you invite people that have animals that you found online to like the page. You could join communities that have like Facebook groups that have people who talk about animals and the love that they have for animals and promote there. Now you could, so it's easier to find your target, or a lot easier to find your target audience. However, when you have pets and you sell pillows and you sell jewelry and then you sell like 20 different things, it's really, really hard to target your audience, because if you have an Instagram account and you're putting all random pictures of different products, the person that's a dog lover might unfollow you because they're like, well, they got a couple stuff for dogs, but mostly it's like other stuff. I'm not interested. Let me unfollow. So that's where you start losing people, because people are more interested in following a store if it's all one niche. So if you were a store that everything you sold was for dogs, whether it's a prints or pillows or whatever, then people are more prone to follow you. So that's the first thing I noticed when I originally came to your shop. Secondly, what I will work on is, I do like the fact that you have a logo. That's great. What I work on is having a cohesive look, in the sense of all your photos having the same color. If you were to look at the most prominent shops on Etsy that make a killing more than my stores, what you notice with those particular stores is that they have the same background colors. It's very cohesive. If I see this picture, this Etsy listing, and then I see this one, and then I see that one, I know it's all from the same shop. I'll be able to say, oh, that comes from Tamara's store. Why? Because you are growing your brand, you're creating brand awareness. People are recognizing your brand. People are recognizing the color schemes that you use. So therefore, you're gonna stand out from the crowd. When you have pictures and every single picture is different, with a different background, different products, different services, it almost starts to look like different shops. It doesn't look like a uniform look from the same store. And if you want to make this a full-time living, and you want to quit your job and make this like your full-time job, that's one thing you really have to work on, is creating a brand, and is choosing, three colors, let's say, or 3 to 5 colors, and sticking with those colors and using those colors all across. So you will use those colors on your social media platform. You will use the colors as well on your Etsy shop. You will use the colors on your emails. Anything and everything will have the same colors. But it's definitely something that I recommend that you start doing, because it's going to set you apart, and then it's going to help you grow brand awareness and grow your shop. Another thing would be to maybe adjust your your banner, it could look way better. It doesn't look the worst. It's really nice. But can it look better? Of course it can. So whether you do it or you pay for someone to do it, there's a lot of Etsy sellers that create banners. There's places like Fiverr. I have a link below that you could find someone to create a custom banner for you. Or you could create your own using canva.com, whatever you prefer. Um, and it takes practice. I mean, I know for mine, I'm always like looking at it and saying, I could improve it. So it's just over time you do it, and then you look at it 5 months later, you're like, "Ooh, I could improve it," and then you redo it again because there's always going to be that room for improvement for everyone, not just certain people. It's just for everyone. I did see your reviews. You're getting great reviews, so I don't really think I need to tell you anything about your reviews. One thing I will mention just overall for anyone listening: reviews affect your SEO, your XC search performance. If you have a store that has strikes against the store because of whatever reason, copyright, intellectual property, or let's say you have bad reviews, it does pushes your store down on the Etsy search results. This is something that you could find on the Etsy seller's handbook. It's not something I'm making up, but the fact that you have great reviews and the fact that you have a little stamp of whenever somebody clicks on something, it tells them the seller usually responds within 24 hours. That means that you are aware of your shop. That means that when people message you, you message them right away, that you are responding, and that's an awesome thing because customer or service, you can't teach people sometimes, unfortunately. So it seems like you have that down pack, and you should be very proud of yourself, and that actually helps your store in the search results, and it also helps you in the future get more sales because the sooner you respond to people, the sooner they make a decision whether they're going to buy from you or not. But at least you'll have a higher chance of getting their sale because you didn't respond like 3 days later and now they went and bought the item from somewhere else. um, I do like the fact that you have updates of your shop, and I like the fact that you have the picture of the listing, but then you have it where a lot of people put the same picture twice. So they'll put this picture over here. I like the fact that you don't do that. And that's actually really, really, really good practice because it showcases the item in a different limelight. And that's what you're supposed to do is maximize the space here. And if they give you the option to do 2 photos, then it's better to do 2 photos. So great job on that. What I would do is do updates. Try to do an update at least once a week if you can. I know it's a little bit hard. You might have to recycle your same photos. The only reason why I say that, if you do an update a week, anybody that liked your store right here, these 35 people, and anybody that favorite your items will get a notification saying that you updated your store, that you updated something. So that's 35 people looking at your store. And if you do that on a consistent basis, then you'll at least start driving some traction and driving traffic to your shop in a more continuous, or in a more what I'm trying to say is you'll drive traffic more or all the time to your shop at least. Now, as your store grows, let's say you have like 500 people that favor your shop. Imagine if once a week you added something new to your shop or you updated your shop. That's 500 eyes looking at your store at that given moment because that's 500 notifications that went out. So that's free traffic. And you could kind of like be outsmart Etsy by doing stuff like that and getting more notices. I do like the fact that you have your About Me section and what you love to do, and that you've been doing this for almost 30 years. That's actually really smart of you to do that because people connect with you. I like the fact that you have a video, you have all your links here for your website and your blog and your social media platforms. I think that you did a good job with the return and exchange policy and also with the frequently asked questions. Can you add a little bit more? I would add a little bit more if you could. But I think overall with the shop policies and reviews, all that, you're doing really excellent. I think that your biggest takeaways are photos, SEO, and adding a little bit more of your listing description. I won't, say anything about your items, only because I do think their items are quality and I do like them. And I think that they're beautiful. I just think that you need to just work on the other item, on the other stuff, so you could improve um, your visibility in the search engine. And therefore, if you have amazing photos, people will be more willing to click and learn more and possibly buy from you. So I hope that this tutorial was helpful. Guys, I'm trying to create a sense of community where we all come together, we help each other out. If you have any tips for tomorrow, leave them below in the comment below. Let's make sure that we help each other out. There's enough room for everyone to grow on Etsy. And make sure that any tips or any criticism you give back is actually good criticism. And that's it, guys. Until the next video, thank you for watching and have a wonderful night.